Hello everyone, my name is Alex and I always use Splash, and today I'm using this very fun looking team of 6 in something called the Inkay Games. The Inkay Games are here. What are the Inkay Games? They are the B League to the Malamar Games. What are the Malamar Games? The Malamar Games is a league set up by Bruneau to set about a new way of playing the game. Different fun rule sets every week. We, in the Inkay League, the Inkay Games, cool coloured Pokemon. So that is Pokemon with green, blue or purple on them somewhere as one of their primary colours. The video is going to be edited a little bit differently to usual. You're going to have, like, I've been watching a lot of Pokesports recently, and in their Malamar Games video, it was Future Kevin who was talking over the battles. You're going to have Future Alex in this video because the games were recorded in the daytime. My wife and my newborn baby were on the sofa. In the third game, I'm actually having to feed my son because my wife was very tired. I let her have a sleep, and I was playing the game while feeding my son. So if you want to join me on this journey in the Inkay Games, please like and subscribe. Join me, become a Squawker Buddy. Speaking of Squawker Buddies, Captain Unova is in my division. That means at some point, the two Squawker Billy lovers are going to have a battle. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what our rule set's going to be. Anyway, join me. Jump in the pool with me. Let's go swimming. So what you're seeing here is John's team, which is Serperior, Hydreigon, Garchomp, Drifblim, Vaporeon, Breloom. A couple of things in here that I've never faced in battle. Drifblim, never knew what it did. I know Vaporeon has Water Absorb. Obviously, the only water type I had on my team was Gastrodon, and Gastrodon usually, famously, don't really carry water type moves. The first thing that jumped to me was the Garchomp. My whole plan with this team was to start Squawker Billy and Belly Bolt, and U-turn myself to get the Electromorphosis boost, and then Parabolic Charge everything after I switch into my ground type, Gastrodon. So I do still lead with the Squawker Billy and the Belly Bolt, just to test the waters, see if John leads with the Garchomp, and I do bring the Gastrodon, just in case I feel like I can get this strategy off, and I do bring the Rillaboom in the back, because the difference from my Rillaboom to how I normally run it is that this one's choice banded, and it hits the Vaporeon super effective. I also wanted to bring it to punish the Garchomp if it is there, because I think a choice banded Grassy Glide / Wood Hammer would do a lot to a Garchomp, and also it's got U-turn, so good utility for the Hydreigon, good for the Breloom as well, and the Serperior. So that was the team of 4 I went for in this first battle. I really wanted to just tread the water, see how we went with this. So here you can see John led with the Hydreigon and the Garchomp, which I was a little bit perplexed with. I did lead the Squawker Billy and the Belly Bolt, and you're going to see the Intimidate go off on both. And I do go Pine Shot into the Garchomp. And here I am contemplating, I think at this point, I was like thinking the grass was super effective on the Garchomp. I forgot about the dragon typing. So I'm here contemplating, do I switch into Rillaboom now? I didn't know whether Hydreigon would have a flying type move, so I was a little bit apprehensive of Terroring. But at that point, I was just kind of like, oh, I'm already on the back foot. I'm just going to go for the Terror Blast. It's the only thing I can do to the Garchomp. I did bring Weather Ball on my Belly Bolt as well, just in case I came across Whimsicott with Sunny Day, just to give it a fire type stab. It was a real stab in the dark, but really with Belly Bolt I usually only click the electric type move. So we do get Rock Slip here, and you can see how clutch that Intimidate came in on the Squawker Billy, because it lived on just over half. And also it kind of made me think, is this Garchomp scarfed? Because my Squawker Billy's scarfed, and usually my Squawker Billy goes first, but it wasn't banded damage either. So I do think here that the Garchomp is scarfed. I do go into my Gastrodon. So, and you'll see my team is named after heroes characters. So here's Claire Bennett. And it is Focus Energy on the Hydreigon, which instantly made me panic, because obviously Draco Meteor crits won't matter if Focus Energy comes through every time and everything crits. So I think I went in for a Helping Hand. Was that what I did? I wasn't looking at the screen. You can see me toying over the Terror Blast. I still consider going for it here. This might have been the turn where I Icy Winded with Gastrodon. We'll have a look. So the Rock Slide does come through again. It doesn't do anything to my Gastrodon. And also, yeah, Belly Bolt's not taking super effective damage. The Draco comes through, the crit hits, Gastrodon does live, and obviously the stat drop doesn't matter here. This was where I went for Icy Wind. Okay, cool. So there's a Terra Blast, does a relatively good chunk. And the Icy Wind does a good amount to the Garchomp, not a lot to the Hydreigon. But we get a speed drop, which could have came in useful if I would have got Squawkabilly back in. Right, we get a leftovers recovery there on Gastrodon, and here we're going to protect. And I just want to Volt Switch the Hydreigon. If they hit Belly Bolt this turn, then the Electromorphosis boost will let the Volt Switch do more damage. And that's where my suspicions of the choice came through, because they switched Garchomp out into the Drifblim. I guess because they saw the Rock Slide didn't do much damage. And this is where I'm thinking to myself, what does Drifblim do? Like, I've never faced one before. Usually it's minimised strats. I'm glad, like, I mean, spoiler alert, that isn't what John goes for here. We do get the Electromorphosis boost. This would have been a lovely turn to a Parabolic Charge. So there we go, we switch back, and I think this here might be where I consider Squawkabilly again. Let's go, we go into the Squawk. Get Intimidate, which this Intimidate doesn't do anything. And leftovers procs. And at this point, right there, is where I go, huh? And I go onto the Pokemon Database website because I figure out why is it a Flame Orb Drifblim, and I find out about I think it's Flare. Basically, its ability gives it a boost when it's burnt. I help in hand here, go for the U-turn to the Hydreigon. We do take out a Hydreigon. Squawkabilly getting the first Squawka killing for me in the Inkay Games. Squawkabilly comes back to us. Squawkabilly is always clutch. And I think this is where I'm going to Matt Parkman. It is. And what I didn't realise here was that I actually baited a Terra. And you'll see why in a second. So the Drifblim does get the Tailwind up. So my opponent, John, now has the speed control. Gastrodon's doing a very good job for me. The leftovers recovery is getting it very healthy again. I think this is where John reveals his last Pokemon, which is the Breloom. Which here is when I'm like, oh no, we've got Fast Spore on the table now. I kind of don't really know what to do. And I think, yeah, this is where I bait out the Terra. With this as well, Terras were open. So it was an open Terra closed team sheet. So we knew the 6 we were bringing, but the only thing we knew about the Pokemon was the Terra types that they were running. So we didn't know any moves, we didn't know the items they were running. So this is when I saw Terra Ghost, and because Rillaboom famously usually runs Fake Out, I thought, oh, we could bait out a Terra here. Obviously didn't go for the right move though. And we do get spoiled with Gastrodon. So Gastrodon goes to sleep here. And this is the thing I was worried about. The only saving grace I had, I mean, you see there, I just about lived the Air Slash. We flinched. So we didn't get any damage off on the Breloom on this turn. So the Air Slash hit, the Air Slash crit, not crit, flinched us. You can see Gastrodon still getting a healthy amount of HP back. But yeah, this is when I realised Drifblim, a little bit of a problem. So here I'm kind of thinking, last ditch attempt, I haven't got priority. I have to go for the Grassy Glide because the speed control was an issue. And we do nearly take the Breloom out because of our choice band on the Grassy Glide. There goes Gastrodon down to the Seed Bomb. And I think this is when I realise we're going to struggle here. We're definitely going to struggle here. Rillaboom goes down and I am left with my very weak Belly Bolt and my Squawkabilly. So I think you see the move I'm going to try and make on this turn as well. Squawk comes in, and here comes Hero, my belly bolt. Here we go, there we go. There's the Squawk. So he intimidates in. It only matters on the Breloom really. And I think, oof, I am choice scarfed. Maybe I might outspeed something. Spoiler alert. This is when I think if Squawkabilly does outspeed, I'll just go for a parabolic charge, sack it off, and just see how much health I can get back. But as you can see, the Breloom outsped. Too right as well. Tailwind was up. Squawkabilly, even though the choice scarf was there, wasn't going to do anything. And here is when I say, GG's John, you won the battle. My sleeping Squawkabilly is not going to be able to take out 3 of your Pokemon. We'll fight. We'll live to fight another day. That was what I meant to say. I had to collect myself then for a second. But yeah, Squawkabilly ain't waking up and taking out 3 Pokemon here. So we do say, not today on Battle 1. So we'll go on to Battle 2. So Battle 2, I think about it and I say I need to change something up. So what I choose, instead of going with Squawkabilly and Belly Bolt, I go SNEASLER and Rillaboom. I bring those 2 out front and I put Squawkabilly and I put Belly Bolt in the back. So he leads Garchomp and Drifblim on this battle. So instantly I'm like, oh, that Drifblim's back. But I think to myself, he may have to protect to get the flame charge or whatever. I can't remember what the ability is called. And John may want to set up the Tailwind first turn. So I think what I'm thinking here is, the Rock Slide's probably coming. I go for the Acrobatics and I'm going to go for a Grassy Glide into the Garchomp. I do contemplate it though by the looks of things, and I am also considering the Fire Terror on Rillaboom. So we protect. Oh, I got that completely wrong there. I'll protect with the SNEASLER first turn. And I go for the Grassy Glide into the Garchomp. We crit. So, sorry about that. Because that was a bit unfortunate. Big crit on the first turn there. And we don't take much Rock Slide damage. I do get the Tailwind up, but I'm thinking here, I'm choice banded into Grassy Glide. There's nothing that can be done to get rid of my terrain here. And I think this is where I think SNEASLER might be able to take out the Drifblim. So I'm hovering over Acrobatics here, and I do go for the Flying Terror Acrobatics into the Drifblim spot. And I am just going to, again, Grassy Glide into the Garchomp slot. Yeah. So Garchomp is withdrawn. And here's the Breloom. The Breloom's in. And we terrestrialise, obviously, like I said, it's SNEASLER. We've got the Unburden boost. SNEASLER is, I think, quite strong. And we are going to Grassy Glide first. Not very effective. Crit. So second crit from Rillaboom. So a bit unfortunate there on the hacks on my end. And we Acrobatics the Drifblim. Drifblim does just go for a Shadow Ball into SNEASLER. SNEASLER takes just over half on that. And again, that's because of the ability, because it powers up the special type moves of the Drifblim. Here I'm thinking, I know I crit the Breloom, but I think another Grassy Glide takes the Breloom out. So I'm going to Acrobatics into Drifblim again. And I'm just going to Grassy Glide into the Breloom. Grassy Glide the Breloom, take Breloom out. So no fast spores coming in on this battle. And we do actually outspeed the Drifblim here, despite the Tailwind. I believe Tailwind went up in this battle. Drifblim's down. So now John is down to their last 2 Pokemon here. And my lead is still relatively strong. So there's the Hydreigon again. And Garchomp comes back out. And obviously Garchomp's already down quite low from that first unfortunate crit that I got from the first turn. I I think here is where my son woke up, so I'm a bit delayed, more delayed than I should be. I considered going for the Dicor into the Hydreigon and the Grassy Glide into Garchomp, but I think John here sees the writing on the wall and they forfeit the second battle, so on to the third. We lead with the Belly Bolt and the Rillaboom. Rillaboom because in the second battle it was clutch, it hit hard. Belly Bolt because I wanted to do something with it in this set, I'll be honest. SNEASLER is in the back because I feel like SNEASLER could really pop off, and Squawkabilly because Squawkabilly's utility here to me seems essential. Somehow more essential than the Roaring Moon, which has a more superior base stat total, but I'm not judging Squawkabilly here. I don't do that. We don't do that here. Gastrodon, you're not very useful. So, yeah, I don't think the Vaporeon's coming because of how strong the Rillaboom was in the other two battles. So, yeah, they're the 4 I chose for this third and final battle. Okay, here we go. So, Hydreigon and Drifblim are out first. For John, I have my Rillaboom, I have my Belly Bolt. And obviously Grassy Surge comes in here. Again, not sure if John may think that I have Fake Out on the Rilla. I don't know if it was clear because obviously last battle I was just critting left, right and centre. But I do go for the U-turn. I think I clicked in Parabolic Charge on Belly Bolt because I thought, well, it's not going to do much damage to Rillaboom if I'm still in. It was just to protect from Hydreigon, and a protect from the Drifblim. So I think Drifblim was protecting to get that boost in its special attack from its ability. Yeah, the Parabolic Charge only comes through on my own Pokemon, which sucks for me. There we go. It chunked a little bit though, so Rillaboom does almost get all of its health back from the first load of grassy terrain. So here, I'm kind of like, oof, what do I do? I know I'm not going to Terastallize Belly Bolt because it would just make it weak to the Drifblim. So Volt Switch goes there, and then I think, oh, I'm going to Terra Fire U-turn the Hydreigon. Not expecting what happens next. What happens next? You'll see. So here's my Terra Fire, my grand plan. The Air Slash won't take me out. I forget that I usually run Assault Vest on my Rillaboom. This is 2 special attackers. So Hydreigon takes me down to 61. Guess what? Did they target Belly Bolt? No, they did not. So Rillaboom, my Terra, goes down early, game 3. Let's see how much this Volt Switch does now to Drifblim. Super effective. 3/4. Would have been nicer for Electromorph's boost on there, but no. And here I decide I'm going to go into SNEASLER. Come on, SNEASLER. Sylar. If you ever watched Heroes, the bad guy, wasn't he? So there's my Grassy Seed. The Drifblim takes the fire damage. Also, we established in the last battle, despite Tailwind, SNEASLER did outspeed. And we obviously Volt Switch, so that means we get a switch into Squawkabilly. So here comes the Squawk. And what we're going to do here is we are going to, hovering over it, Acrobatics and U-turn the Hydreigon. We will get a U-turn off on this Hydreigon. However, is it going to be super effective? No. Terra Poison on the Hydreigon in this third battle. So we Acrobatics the Drifblim. We take the Drifblim out. Issue number 1, gone. Dealt with. But now this U-turn, not going to do much to the Hydreigon. Could have parting shotted there. Although, really, I've seen John set up with the focus energy, so I didn't really see the point. Again, I'm feeding my son during this battle, so the Belly Bolt switching happened a little bit later, probably because I was burping him. And just to confirm, I did successfully burp the newborn. Very happy during this battle. He actually sat and watched for a little while. Here comes the Breloom, the bane of my existence. I think we established in Battle 1 the Breloom under Tailwind outsped my SNEASLER. So here I'm panicking. I'm actually sweating a little bit. My son gave me this look, and he actually has this usual stare that he gives like this. He was giving me that look during my time of picking those moves. So I protect with the SNEASLER because I'm protecting the Spore going into that slot. The Draco Meteor does go into the SNEASLER. And we get Spored instead into the belly bolt spot. So the good thing here is we do get our first turn of sleep straight away. So there is a chance in the next turn we do wake up. So I'm looking at a Diaclaw. I like the look of a Diaclaw. And here I'm like, oh, do I switch out? But what's the point? I might as well try and do something. I'll Volt Switch the Hydreigon. The Diaclaw, Breloom is Sash. So it lives on the Sash. So guess what's going to happen to us? 3, 2, 1. Yes, we're going. I have to wait a second because the Draco Meteor crit comes through. Now, tell us what happens. Yes, we're going to sleep. There we go. The payoff was there. We just had to wait a little while for it. So yeah, both of my Pokemon now on the field are asleep until Bellybolt wakes up. Turn 2 wake up. We get the Volt Switch. Electromorphosis boosted. It did something. Now we go into our Choice Scarfed Squawkabilly. Here comes the Squawk. Up the Squawk. Now the Grass Strain has disappeared. And I'm thinking, oh, what do I do? This is my first mandatory turn of sleep on the SNEASLER here. And I'm thinking I'll just Brave Bird the Hydreigon. They actually switch the Breloom into the Garchomp. SNEASLER is fast asleep, but we do Brave Bird. Now we're choiced into Brave Bird for the rest of the battle. It was a crit. I don't think the crit mattered at that range. Not sure. If it did, then again, I've had some crazy luck during this best of 3. So now I'm thinking, what's my win con? We Diaclaw the Garchomp and just hope the Lords are smiling down on us, and we just Brave Bird into this Breloom. And that's what I'm thinking about here, is I've just got a Diaclaw and just hope for the best and just get rid of this Breloom. So, do we wake up on our second turn of sleep with the SNEASLER? This is the question. John's obviously taken their time as well, picking their moves. But yeah, I've established that's my only win con. So the Mach Punch does come through on the Squawkabilly. SNEASLER wakes up. SNEASLER gets the Diaclaw. SNEASLER gets the sleep. And just like that, I think I'm a father to 2 wonderful children. How much more lucky can I get? I guess just getting the only option I had of winning in this best of 3 set. And somehow the only win condition we had has allowed us the possibility of winning this best of 3 set. To John, all I could do is apologise, because I got lucky in game 2 with the 2 crits. I got lucky with the Diaclaw sleep. Like, I don't think there was really any way that I was beating you if I didn't get that sleep on that last turn. So here, Squawkabilly gets its 3rd kill of the battle, I think, with the Brave Bird, takes the Garchomp out, and somehow Squawkabilly is Squawkakilly. We go 1-0 in the Inkay Games. We move on to our next battle, which will be next week against Little Root Lessons. We do not know what the theme will be. I will probably tweet it out as soon as we know what the rules will be. I'm very, very much looking forward. I really enjoyed this. Up the Inkay Games. Let's see if me and the West Suffolk Splashers can go to the playoffs. If I have stupid luck like I did in this battle, there's a chance. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. Join me, become a Squawker Buddy. Jump in the pool with me. And let's go squawking.